Okay. All right. So, hi, my name is Presh, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Um, this is my first long form video, and I just wanted to come on, share my voice, and talk about why I chose to learn how to play bass and why I'm choosing to share that with the internet, with the world. So I don't I never formally learned how to play an instrument. I've loved music my whole life. Instruments have come and gone into my life throughout my childhood, into adulthood. Um, so I I guess I won't start from the very beginning, but I'll start from when I first knew I wanted to actually play an instrument. So bass is, like I said, not my first instrument that I tried to learn how to play. I wanted to learn how to play guitar, and I think I first started on guitar like around 12 or 13 years old. My stepdad had a guitar, an acoustic guitar, and I would always like mess around on it and try to like learn some stuff. And when I turned, I think I was around 16 or 17, I received my own acoustic guitar um, for Christmas. It was a silver tone, and it came with like a little book and like a CD to, play some simple songs and stuff. And so I was super excited about it, but I didn't really take it seriously. I didn't really know how to take an instrument seriously at that time. Um, and like I never really thought about going to actual lessons. For Yeah, I never really thought about going to actual lessons for the instrument. What I did though, I did find Justin Guitar um, online. So that was a really helpful resource. I think I learned a lot with him, learning my first chords um, and like playing my first songs and stuff like that. And so I kept playing. I never really took it like seriously. Like I said, I didn't really have the discipline or the motivation to take it, seriously. Uh, but I would say like the reason why I gravitated towards guitar early on at that age is because of the video game Guitar Hero and Rock Band. So I would play a lot of Guitar Hero and Rock Band with my brothers, my cousins, and I was really into music. So naturally, I was just like, "Oh, this is amazing. I want to like learn how to play something for real." Um, so early on, I was playing a lot of Nirvana, doing a lot of like easy power chords on the acoustic guitar. Uh, bar chords were hard, so I was just like, you know what, we'll go with power chords. It's cool. And since I was like learning a lot of Nirvana and gravitating towards the more like electric sound, I went from the acoustic um, to playing electric. My grandfather had an electric guitar that he had just gotten from his wife, and I would go to his house and I would like play around on it. And then one day he asked me if I wanted to borrow it, and so I was just like, absolutely. So I borrowed it, and man, like I spent so much time in my room just like playing around on the guitar. I didn't know how to practice, so it was just like a lot of like noodling and playing with sounds and stuff like that. Um, after I after I graduated high school, I took my acoustic guitar to college with me. And so I played around in college. I even took a guitar lesson. That was like my first actual formal lesson. It was like I got credit, college credit for it. So it was a very easy class. It was pretty chill. But I will say this, it was pretty boring. Like there would be times that I would skip out on guitar class because like I just didn't take it seriously. I didn't have the discipline or the motivation to take it seriously. Most of my friends were not playing instruments. Most of my friends were not into like that sort of thing that I was into in like um creatively. I was more focused on writing poetry. So I used to write a lot of poetry. And then when I got into college, I was more so on kind of like the slam poetry, spoken word sort of situation. So I was taking that a bit more seriously um than learning how to play the instrument. I would go back to playing guitar when words became too much for me. So it was sort of like a outlet a outlet from my preferred outlet, and I appreciate that. After college, so while I was in college, actually, while I was in college, I ended up purchasing a very heavy electric guitar from a friend of mine. He actually played the guitar at the church that was associated with the school, and so he had gotten a new guitar and he was selling his old equipment, and so I was just like, I'll buy it. Like, yeah, like I think I just needed to play around on an electric guitar again cuz I was only playing Sandy, my acoustic. And so I had that guitar's name was Sasha. So now I had Sandy and Sasha was really heavy. She was a heavy ass guitar, but I really love playing around with it. He also had this like pedal board thing that he sold me that had a lot of like effects just built into it. I actually still do have that pedal board in my mom's basement, and his like huge amp as well. And yeah, I just like went from there and would practice. But I was really nervous to play with people and around people, and that really like I think that really like stifled my learning process, because it would have been really cool to actually like play with him and like the church band, but yeah, I was just too shy. So yeah, played around with that, and then after college, um, that guitar, I actually both Sandy and Sasha, I put them back at my mom's, and uh, I still like lived near the campus, so I wasn't playing anything at that point. Um, I started working at a restaurant and I pretty much became really close with all of my coworkers. And one of them is a trombonist in a ska band, and he had a guitar. It was a black Epiphone, like Les Paul shaped guitar, and he just like brought it to me. Like we would talk about music and everything. He knew I was really excited about music. I would go to his shows, and he came to work one day and just like handed me this guitar. And I was like, oh my goodness, like thank you. It really like it kind of like, you know, put that little spark back in me again. But once again, like here, like I sort of have these like little like avenues of like, okay, you can foster this like relationship, like this like budding like music relationship, but i was I was scared, I was shy, I didn't know how to like I didn't know how to look like a beginner in front of somebody who, you know, has been playing music for a really long time. And so I received the guitar, but then I just went back to sort of like playing, by myself in my apartment, in my show, just like whatever, whatever. And once again, my playing of that guitar didn't really last as long. And so it was actually around this time, though, that creatively I kind of just fell off. I had stopped writing poetry, stopped performing poetry, and I wasn't really, oh, pardon. Ah! Yeah, I wasn't really doing too much creatively. So, um, fast forward to like what, 3 years ago. Um, uh, one of my childhood's one of my childhood best friends, my cousin Robbie, he passed away, and we were really close as kids. He was one of the guys that we just hang out with, like me and my brothers, we would hang out with, and we'd play PlayStation, Nintendo 64, Rock Band, Guitar Hero. And I mean, just for hours playing through the night, just playing. And when he passed, there wasn't really there weren't really any words that I had to express that. Um, I had started writing, like I would write poetry every like now and again here and there. Um, but yeah, I couldn't really process that grief. And the only thing that came to me for it was that, like, I was just like, man, I really wish I could express myself on the bass. And so that was when it was just like this instrument that I've never held a bass, never touched a bass. Like, I knew of the bass because of like the games that we would play together on Rock Band and Guitar Hero. Like, before that, I didn't even know what the bass was. I had no idea its role in a band. I had no idea of the bass's role in music in general. Um, and so here I am grieving in this very like emotional time period of my life, and like the only thing that I want to do to sort of like make sense of it all is to play an instrument that is that is foreign to me, you know? Um so yeah, that is sort of like my why as to why I'm um learning to play the bass in my 30s, after not having touched a instrument in over, what, 12 years at this point. Um so yeah, after he passed away, I purchased my bass, the bass that I play now, um, a few months after, and it's the first time actually purchasing my own instrument. Um, I picked it up from Guitar Center. I just like got the bundle, the Fender Squire Affinity set that they do with the bass guitar, the amp, the and like all the little things that you need, like the strap, the cord, stuff like that. Um, I knew that I wanted to kind of keep it on the cheaper end, on the cheaper side, only because I know I have a track record of picking an instrument up and then putting it back down again. And in fact, that is what I did with the bass when I started learning. I had fun learning at first. I had fun just like feeling it and just being with it. And I also had fun listening to music where I was like really listening for the bass. And like this is something that I would do even before I had gravitated towards the bass. But yeah, I just like had a really good time sort of just listening out for bass lines and stuff like that. And then I put it down again. And so I'd pick it up, put it down, pick it up, put it down. And this time around, I'm picking it back up again. And um, I figured, like, well, let me do something that has sort of frightened me my entire life, and that is share what it is that I'm learning with other people. My whole goal for this channel is to build a community around like people who love music, people who love bass, people who think they're too old to play an instrument. Like I'm hoping to encourage other people to like pick up an instrument, even if they think that they're too old to do it. But yeah, that is my goal. That is my intention. I just want to learn how to play bass and just grow, grow within it. And I want to like, I want to sort of like make myself comfortable with being seen learning how to do something and like being a beginner at something, because that was something that I was always scared of with learning guitar. But yeah, here I am. So if you made it this far in the video, thank you. Please subscribe and comment and maybe even share. um I do want to sort of make sure that this message is finding the right people. I mean, I don't mind talking into the YouTube void for now because I have a lot of practice to do with getting comfortable with talking to a camera, but also at the same time, I do want to um, find people who are, on a similar journey or who are years ahead in their journey, who have like amazing advice. And then also those who are maybe even thinking about starting the journey and just need a little push. So, yeah. All right. I think that's all I got.